Right, in this video, we're going to use Pandas and ChatGPT to read a table in an Excel file into a Pandas data frame. And we're going to use various combos with it. For example, if the header row is a different row, and if we want to select different columns or not want to select certain elements, and how we can use ChatGPT to customize all of that. Few things to note in this video is first thing is this file is saved in the same root directory, this Excel file, as where my Python coding is sitting. And the file name is chatgpt underscore read. I repeat, file name is chatgpt underscore read. And the tab name is chatgpt, no underscores, right? So it's important because we need to specify these into ChatGPT so that we get the right outcome. So let's go into ChatGPT. It's a simple text which is write a pandas Python code to read a tab named ChatGPT, which is within an Excel workbook named ChatGPT underscore read dot xlsx. Pretty straightforward. Let's start here and see what happens. So the code is generated. We'll copy this code and see whether we get the right outcome. So we've copied this code into our IDE. I'm running this to see whether we get the right outcome. Well, I didn't ask ChatGPT to print, so it didn't, and I have just print this df. Uh, Here we go. As simple as that. Pretty quick and easy. All that's doing is, as I noted, this is the Excel file and this is the sheet name. So now let's get to the next stage where what we want to do is it's reading these columns as well, and we really don't want to read these columns. So, or the other way is we want to read these four columns. So how do we get ChatGPT to write that code? First thing I'll do is I'll copy the same text we used before, but I'm going to start tweaking this. And I'm also going to make some mistakes so that you can see what happens and what kind of mistakes can come through. Now it's a write code read a tab name. Okay. Uh, then we go in the data frame read from the Excel file. Only read date, employee name, customer name, and hours in the output df. Now, I'm going to make a mistake here just so that you can see what kind of care you need to ensure while getting ChatGPT to write the code. So it is generating the code now. Right, so let's copy this. Oh, not all of this. Let's copy this. Place this within the existing code and replace this. And I feel we should get an error out of this. And yes, we are getting an error. And I think we need to understand why this is happening. So looking at what we asked ChatGPT to do was I provided a column named date with a small d, whereas in the Excel file, you'll see that this is with a capital. So if we change this, rerun it, we should get back to the right answer we are looking for. So let's quickly do that. So here we can see the date change. We run this code and we actually see only the columns we needed to lift. So that's again pretty easy. So now what happens, for example, if we have this column is starting in row 4. So it's important to be precise with ChatGPT to get the code. So let's make that tweak in ChatGPT and see what happens. Read the right header. I have written this text, which is write a pandas code to read the tab name chat, which is within Excel workbook ChatGPT underscore read.xl. This is the important part now. The table headers are in row 4 of the Excel tab. Everything else pretty much is the same as the previous example. When I hit run, I get this piece of code, and I can just copy this into the coding we have used before. And I need to make sure these changes are saved here, otherwise we will get an error. And I'll run this code. Oh, again, I didn't print df. And again, it has tailored itself to the row 4 header. So as you can see, you can use uh, ChatGPT to not only read data but customize the outputs from how it's reading through. And I think one more thing probably I would show is if we can read this to a SQLite database and access that database straight away. So let's get ChatGPT to read this table into a SQLite database. Right, so I'm going to just copy this bit of text to save a bit of time, paste it in here, and I'm going to then go write the resulting data frame to a SQLite 3 database named test22, and the table name should be test2222. Okay, let's generate the code. So again, let's see, these are the additional bits which have been added. So these are the bits of code you need to write into a to a SQLite database. You'll see how simple and easy it is to get all of this done using ChatGPT and kind of write kind of terminology to create the outcomes. So I made a small mistake as I didn't copy this import pandas as PD. So that was the error I was getting. So I'm just gonna go back and add that in here, import pandas as PD. And let's run this code. And essentially it has written a database, but I use a software called DB Browser. So DB Browser can be used to access a database created in SQLite. So I'm just going to where the file's been created. So we just named it test222. If I open this, you can see the test22222 table has been created and all of that data has been stored. So you can see how simple and easy it is to use ChatGPT with Pandas, Python, and SQLite and get the right outcomes. The only thing is you need to know what you're doing in high level sense to make sure you get the right output. I have another video, a very important video, which walks through the structure of SQLite databases and what are the things you need to do in a SQLite database. I'll put the link to that video in the description. Hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully it makes your job a little bit easier.